Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Reinhard Klett, your coach for personal and professional growth. I'm so glad you're joining us and watching this half-hour video so that you can learn also something about what the most successful people in the world are doing differently. So you'll get a lot out of this. Just keep watching. Looking forward to sharing this information with you. And just off the bat, I want to let you know that I hope you can learn from this. I will teach you a little bit or tell you a little bit about my coaching program at the end, but and also about a couple of books that I highly recommend for you to read. So just keep watching. If you like to fast forward or skip anything, you know you're welcome to do that. If you want to go straight to the end, you're welcome to do that. I don't want to hide anything. I don't want to just tie you in with a lot of information that you may want to skip, but I'm sure you can learn a lot from it. But I want to be completely transparent and let you know that this is for your information, for your benefit, so you can learn from it. And if we can be of any help, and I will be talking about that at the end, that'd be great. If not, if that's not for you, then that's fine too. That is no problem. That is not an issue at all. So just enjoy it, relax, and just try to learn as much as you can and take away from it as much as you can. Are you a business owner or professional who has been successful in their work, but your health and your family, they paid the price? You know, that's where I was before I learned the 6 secrets of the world's most successful people who are also healthy and enjoy great family relationships, and they don't sacrifice their good health and their relationships for the success in their career or in their business. To get right into it, here is the agenda for our webinar today. First of all, we're going to look at why most people fail, what holds them back from really reaching their full potential and reaching a high level of success while they're being healthy and also have good relationships. And then we are going to discuss the science of high performance, which is actually based on a lot of research, what has been done by the High Performance Institute, and they have examined people from all over the world, and we'll go into that a little bit and what their findings were. You will find them to be very interesting. And then my surprising results as far as what has happened to me by adopting those habits and being coached in those areas and then becoming a coach myself as well. And then we are going to talk about those 6 pillars actually that we said we will discuss, what they have found through their research, what really makes somebody a high performer, successful in not only at work, but also in their lives. And then we are going to look at a game plan as to what you can do to move forward in those areas. And we will have some giveaways as well at the end. So stick with us all the way until the end, and you'll be surprised what we have in store for you. The researchers of the High Performance Institute asked this question: what do the world's highest performing, most successful, most fulfilled people do differently? So what do they do differently? Because clearly it's not easy to do well in all those areas of our lives, because we all face 3 problems typically. These problems are our fears and our worries, and we have fatigue. We are all exhausted, especially during these days where we are going through COVID or have gone through it and have dealt with lockdowns and lots of changes. So we are kind of fatigued, not only physically, but also emotionally and mentally. And the other problem is that we often face is frustration. Things are just not moving the way we would like them to move. And of course, a lot of that has to do with how we approach situations, how we deal with it. But these are still problems we all face. And we need to learn how to deal with those effectively so that we can become high performers. So how do the world's most successful people overcome those fears, fatigue, and frustration, and implement the right strategies and habits to dramatically advance in their lives, in their careers? Before we get into this, I want to just acknowledge you and understand that skepticism is very appropriate. That's something we should always be in some ways. It's good to be open-minded for new things and for ideas that you may not have heard before, but it's quite okay to be skeptical. That's what I am usually when it comes to new things that I've never heard before. But I also keep an open mind. So it's cool to question anything I say. Just ask yourself this question: is this true or important in my life right now? And if so, then just keep that open mind and keep listening. Also, ask yourself, what would happen if you really focused in this area? And some of these things, they may not sound so new or different to you. They may often be somewhat common sense, but unfortunately not always common practice. So just ask yourself, if you were to focus in those areas that we're going to discuss, what would happen in your life? And then thirdly, think beyond yourself. Even if it doesn't feel like it's going to affect you very much, how might it improve, or how might improvement in these areas help not only you, but also your family, your team, your career, your mission, your overall goals, and your dreams in life? Now, this may not help you, and that depends on who you are, what your approach is. If you're the yaya guy who knows everything but doesn't have the discipline to truly implement with consistency and excellence, then that won't work for a person like that. But also somebody who always tries to find excuses for not doing what they could be doing in order to improve their lives. So that it won't work for a person like that either. But the fear guy who simply doesn't want to try anything new, doesn't want to look into new information, it's not going to help them either. And then also the person who simply doesn't want to change, even though they may see benefits in something they understand and something they learn, but if they don't want to change. But I'm sure that's not you, so keep watching. At this stage in your life, you have probably already reached a certain level of success. And it's because you have done these things. You started something, you work very hard at it, you're passionate about it, you focus on your strengths, you practice a lot of what you do, you're grateful for what's been given to you and what you can contribute to the world, and you stick to things. You don't give up easily. Now, again, these things have gotten you this far, but are they enough to get to the next level? Ask yourself that question. Now back to our research. What do the world's highest performing, most successful, most fulfilled people do differently? Before we go any further, I want to just make sure that we understand the term high performance, what we mean by that. When the High Performance Institute did their research, and before they even started with it, they defined it this way. They said, okay, high performance to them meant succeeding beyond standard norms, that is typically above average, or succeeding beyond what is even normal for us personally. And it varies very much from one person to another, of course. So just succeeding above standard norms. And then consistently doing that over the long term, not just a short term flash in the pan, do one big activity, commercial activity or whatever it is, or one big concert or one book or one movie or whatever, and then it's over. No, they would do it consistently over the long term. And also at the same time, they say whatever they have done, it was worth it. Because so many people may have reached a level of success in their lives, but they made such sacrifices to where at the end they say, it really wasn't worth it. That's not where we want to be, do we? So we want to make sure that it's understood that when we talk high performance, we also mean that in addition to performing above standard norm over the long term, we also want to maintain well-being, good health, and positive relationships to make it all worthwhile. It's all about maximizing the contribution that we can make, fulfilling our dreams, our passions, our mission, and again, making it all worthwhile. So we want to talk about the science of high performance. Again, this is based on a lot of research. It's not somebody's just personal experience or personal opinion. It is really based on research and based on true scientific fact. The study of high performers began to answer these questions. Why do some individuals and teams succeed more quickly than others and sustain that success over the long term? And of those who pull it off, why are some miserable and others happy on the journey? And then thirdly, what motivates people to reach higher levels of success in the first place? And what kinds of habits, training, and support help them continue to improve? Now, here's how the High Performance Institute found the answers. They did global surveys all around the world, and they structured one-on-one interviews with hundreds of people. They used data analytics to analyze all the information they gathered. They did a lot of academic literature review, and they received coaching insights from over 3,000 high-performance coaching sessions, analyzed those, and they got empirical results from actual training interventions. Now, again, the question was also asked when analyzing these habits, which are deliberate, which can be really implemented with intention, which habits are observable that other people notice them, and which habits are malleable. That means, are they adjustable to any situation, any field you're working in, wherever you live in the world or whoever you are, and also, are they trainable or do they come just natural? If they're not trainable and either people have them or don't, then that won't be part of a program or won't be very useful to us to learn about them. And the other one is effective. Are they effective across all domains in any kind of field or endeavor that we work in? Here they are, the 6 habits that are strongly correlated to high performance. I will just give you an overview here, a brief overview here, and we'll go into a little bit more detail later in this webinar. Now, on a personal level, we need to seek clarity, who we want to be and what we want to accomplish in life, what our mission, our purpose is. Then we need to generate high levels of energy to be able to fulfill that work, to do that work. That is physical energy, mental energy, emotional energy, spiritual energy. And then we also need to raise the level of necessity to where we connect our activities with a need to do them in order to move forward in life. And on a social level, we need to increase our productivity, our contribution. We need to develop influence with other people and then demonstrate courage oftentimes towards other people as well. So these are just as an overview, the 6 habits, and we're going to briefly look at also the things that are not strongly correlated to high performance. Now, there's one thing about the findings that may surprise you a little bit. And that is this, that it's not what a lot of people think, or most people think. High performance is not strongly correlated with age, gender, nationality, intelligence, personality, your strengths, your creativity, empathy, years of experience, or compensation. Now, you wonder, well, wait a minute, what are you talking about here? I'm not saying that those things don't have an influence. They do. And we know that from experience. But there are a lot of people, and the studies have shown that the factors that are strongly correlated to high performance, that make a huge impact, that are absolutely necessary for high performance, they're not any of these things. Because there's people of any age, of any gender, of any nationality, of different levels of intelligence, of different types of personalities, people with different natural strengths, different people with different levels of creativity, empathy, and years of experience, or how much money they make. All those things can have an influence, but anybody with varying degrees in all those areas can be very, very successful and can be a high performer. That's what the studies have shown. And to me, it's fascinating. You know what it tells me? There's a lot we can do. And what it also tells me, it's really taking away excuses that we carry with us. Oh, I can't do it because I'm not born this way, or I don't have enough money, or I'm of the wrong gender, and it is only a, in this society I'm being discriminated against, therefore I can't move up. Well, there are always people that are in the similar situation as you are, and sometimes in a much more disadvantaged situation than you may be, and they're still high performers. So that to me is fascinating. In a way, it helps me to take away my excuses for not moving forward, for not performing at a high level. Also, what is interesting is that it's not all about our strengths either. You can have all the strengths in the world, but without the right habits, you don't get anything done. And high performers do not report on working on their strengths any more than other people do. The question they ask is less often, who am I and what am I good at? But more often they ask the question, what is required to be of service here? And how can I grow into that or lead others to deliver service? I sometimes use an example. For example, if you have a first aid kit or a survival kit, if in that survival kit you need to have a number of things to really make it a valuable survival kit when you get stranded somewhere, let's say. And imagine you have a really nice Swiss Army knife in that survival kit, but you don't have a Band-Aid and you don't have matches. Just adding another very nice Swiss Army knife to your survival kit won't make up for the lack of a Band-Aid or a match, for example. And the same thing with our strengths. If we just focus on our strengths and we just work in those areas and we neglect the areas where we may not have our strengths, then sometimes that can really hold us back. That's like missing something in a survival kit. Maybe think of it that way. So I want to share with you my surprising results. I just want to share briefly with you a little bit about my journey. As an engineer by trade, I have worked in the automotive industry as a program manager and in technical sales and project management and so on, successfully handling accounts over $1 million, $100 million a year with major automotive manufacturers. But then I started my own business. And when I started my own business and transitioned out of the corporate world, I remembered what the late Jim Rohn said. He was a legend in personal development, actually, and he said, when you own a business, work harder on yourself than on your business. So I took that to heart. I worked a lot on skill development, learning a lot more about real estate investing, which is the business that I started. And I also realized very soon that I needed to work on personal development to really grow personally, to develop the habits that make for successful people in any endeavor. And for that purpose, I hired a certified high performance coach, and he has helped me tremendously on that journey. And so that is part of what I've been doing. So what did the coach help me with? The high performance coach has helped me to really develop those high performance habits in all areas of my life. So it helped me particularly to grow in confidence and to pursue my mission. As you can imagine, when you transition into a completely different field, that's a little tough. And our confidence is to a large degree built on our skill level, on competence in a certain area. And when we still have to develop that competence in a certain area, we often lack the confidence. And so he really helped me in that area. And also he helped me to get much healthier. I was able to lose 25 pounds and get into much, much better shape than I was before. I wasn't too unhealthy. I didn't really have any health issues, but as you can imagine, if somebody can lose 25 pounds, that means they can improve on their health. So, and also through improved focus, I've been able to be much more productive and effective. He has really helped me to just focus a lot more on what really matters as far as my business went, and of course also in my personal life, because we want to always maintain that balance to make it all worthwhile in the end. So I alluded to this a little bit already, how I became a coach. I saw the transformation in my own life by being coached. And then I saw the need for coaching among my peers, among other business owners in the community. And that's when I decided to get trained and certified by the High Performance Institute. And I enjoyed the coaching very much and received a lot of great feedback also from my clients. And it's just a very rewarding situation for me, and I really love it. And I really am passionate about sharing this journey with others. And just as an example, what one of my clients has experienced as a very successful business owner who made a lot of money, he was in a lot of stress. His business grew very rapidly, but this also had a negative impact on his health and his relationships. He was very worn out, very fatigued, and overwhelmed. And when I started to coach him, his life improved measurably. And not only did he continue to grow his business, actually, in that 1 year, when I coached him, he grew his business by 45%, but he also took much better care of his health. So he improved his health in the process tremendously, and he improved his family life, his relationships. And that is just so rewarding. And that was so wonderful to see that. So enough about me. The real questions remain: how did high performers get that way? How did they develop those habits? And how do they keep growing and succeeding in the long term? So for this, we are going to dig a little deeper into the 6 pillars, the 6 habits that all high performers have in common. All right, let's get a little bit deeper into these 6 pillars of high performance. On a personal level, we need to seek clarity. We need to really know what we want to accomplish, what are our dreams, what is our mission, what is our purpose, what do we want to accomplish? Do we have clarity about it? And also, do we have clarity about what our values are, how we want to show up in the world, what really is important to us, to have a good clarity about that. That's very important for us personally. And of course, we also try to share that with other people so that we're on the same page within our family, maybe, or within a team at work, or wherever that is, where we work in a team. It's important not only that we have clarity, but we share what is clear so that others also have clarity as to what you expect from them and what you're hoping and trying to accomplish so that they can support you. The other one is generating energy. You know, the power plant does not have energy, it generates energy. And that's the same thing with us. We sometimes need to generate energy. One way is by really getting into good health, getting into good shape. That helps us a lot. Another aspect is mentally and emotionally, that we summon energy, that we say, okay, I want to get into this situation. I want to into a social situation, for example. I want to raise the level of energy in the room when I get into it by just having a different mindset, a positive, optimistic, loving and caring mindset. And then we also, in order to perform well, we need to raise necessity. Sometimes things are not convenient, there's obstacles in the way, we don't feel like doing something in the moment. But when we're connected to the necessity, when we realize I really need to do these things in order to perform at a high level, to fulfill my dreams, to accomplish my goals, to have the relationships I want to have, and those kinds of things, then we need to raise the level of necessity and connect with that on a regular basis. In socially speaking, what we want to do is we want to increase our productivity. And we can increase our productivity, then we can also increase our contribution that we make, and that helps us to have more influence in the world. We can develop more influence. And when it comes to influence, to me, it's very important to think of it as adopting a role model mindset. We can't be hypocrites. We need to practice what we preach, so to speak. And so what we really want to do is establish good relationships, develop good relationships to where people like, know, and trust us, or the other way around, know, like, and trust us. So that's where we put forth some effort in order to have influence to get our dreams and our mission accomplished. and to have the good relationships we want to have in order to lead happy lives. And then we need to demonstrate courage if we want to be a high performer. So many times we don't do certain things because we don't want to stand up to somebody or don't want to voice what we are trying to desire. We're never going to get married unless we ask somebody for a date, for that first date. So it takes courage to move forward. You will not get that raise at work if you don't ask for it typically. You won't get the job until you apply for it. And sometimes it requires courage. The courage to do something that even is outside of our comfort zone. And when we develop the courage to step outside of our comfort zone, then the reward for that courage will be confidence. So all those things, and you can dig into those a lot deeper still, as you know, but just to have an overview, to have an understanding how these are all connected and how important they are, I wanted to share those with you. So what's your next step in improving? Let's find out together. So as a first step in your personal development and growing in the high performance habits, I highly recommend that you read this book, High Performance Habits from Brendon Burchard. I'm not selling it personally, and I'm not making any money when you buy it. So but I highly recommend it because this is what much of my coaching, not all of it, but much of my coaching is based on that. And Brendon Burchard was also the one who has put together all the coaching, training, and the certification. So a lot of it you can learn already by just reading this book and then applying what you learn in this book. He's a 3-time New York Times best-selling author, and he's the CEO and founder of the High Performance Institute that has done all this research around high performance. Again, it's not based on just personal experience or personal opinion. It's really based on research, and it's the only training program or coaching program that is actually based on real science. And he's actually the world's leading high performance coach by Forbes magazine. So I learned a lot from him, and I really, really highly recommend that book. You can learn a lot as well. Also, as a shameless plug, I want to add that I highly recommend that you read my book, Letting Go Saved My Life, How Letting Go Can Help You Grow. This is a book that I wrote based on a personal life and death experience. And I think you will find it very helpful in your personal growth process. And the way I look at it is, the high performance habits are like stepping on the gas, like putting your foot on the gas. And letting go of things that are holding you back in your life, that's like taking your foot off the brake. And so that's my contribution to this coaching process, that I encourage people also to let really go of anything that is holding them back in their lives. And there's the introductory chapter in the book in which I talk about my life and death experience. And then there's 16 more chapters which cover 16 different areas in life where often people are held back, where they have mental blocks and so on and so forth. So I highly recommend it. It's got great reviews. Just to give you a little bit of social proof that it's not just my personal opinion, but it's got highly rated on Amazon. So I highly recommend that you check out this book. It's available as a paperback, as an ebook, and also as an audiobook. Now, for full disclosure, of course, I get some royalties when you buy the book. Now, in addition to reading books, it can be helpful to get into coaching, and that's what I mentioned to you at the beginning. That is something that I have, that I want to offer you, that I want to introduce you to. And for that, can you just spend 60 minutes with me diving into your goals and into each area of these areas that we discussed and even more. So this is just about exploring ways for you to grow faster. And there's no cost or obligation for you whatsoever. It's just spending 60 minutes with me to coach you in a particular area that may be very pressing for you. And I know you will get a lot of value out of it. And actually, before we get into that, if you can just fill out an application form. And some people have told me just filling out the application form that has helped them to reflect on things, to think about things, to meditate on certain areas in their lives where they may not have, where they may have had a little bit of a blind spot. That alone will be of a benefit. So I'll tell you more on how to look that up and how to get involved in that. But again, no cost or obligation, just a free 60-minute talk with me. I'm sure that will be of great benefit to you. And to schedule a free 1-hour coaching session, just go to growthcoachohio.com and click the button Personal Coaching. So growthcoachohio.com and then click the button Personal Coaching. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I want to share with you and give away something for just sticking with us and showing your interest in the habits of high performers and wanting to become a high performer yourself. And so there's our giveaway. It is as a thank you for listening. I give you a free access to read or listen to my story of survival. And so just go to my website, carriedoneagleswings.com, How Letting Go Saved My Life. And you can download or read the story there, or download the audio, and you can listen to it at any time. And that's just my thank you to you for listening and staying with us through this video. Now, if you've listened to us so far and you're ready for the next level of success and you have people counting on you, then maybe it's your time to seek high performance coaching. And to find out more about my coaching program, just go to my website, growthcoachohio.com, and see which of the programs may be a good fit for you. Now, if you're interested in personal coaching and would like to schedule a free 60-minute coaching call with me to see whether personal coaching also will work for you, then just go to my website again and go to growthcoachohio.com and then push the button personal coaching. And as a gift for you, if you schedule a coaching session and fill out the application form, then I'm going to give you a free book, a paperback of my book, Letting Go Saved My Life. Just in case you missed it, here's the website you can go to schedule your free 1-hour coaching session. It's www.growthcoachohio.com. And on that page, you will see various options of different programs that we offer, different coaching programs, but also the one we're on personal coaching, where you just click on that and you will have access to the application form and to the calendar where you can schedule your free coaching call. I look so much forward to it. And again, thank you so much for your interest in your own personal development and your personal growth. I'm so glad you are on this journey, and I'd be happy to be a part of it. So you take care, keep well, all the best until we talk again.